Good evening, I'm Sarah Repp reporting from the SMC News Desk. The case of a black man who died following a party in rural Kansas more than 16 years ago has been ruled a homicide after his body was exhumed as the federal authorities investigate his death as a possible hate crime. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said on Monday that a new autopsy of the body of Alonzo Brooks concluded the cause of death was homicide. His body was exhumed last year from a Topeka cemetery and transported to Dover Air Force Base for an examination. Brooks was 23 when he disappeared after attending a party in eastern Kansas in May of 2004. Then his family later found his body in a creek near where the party was held. In 2019, the FBI reopened the investigation. Wichita police are seeking a suspect in the fatal shooting of a man after a dispute in the drive-through lane of a fast food restaurant. Police say that a 19-year-old died after the shooting late on Monday. Police Captain Jason Stevens said that this 19-year-old and his girlfriend got into an argument with people in another car at a Burger King. This 19-year-old followed the vehicle and eventually both cars stopped. Stevens said that someone in the second car fired at the 19-year-old's car and his girlfriend alerted officers who were working a traffic stop nearby. The 18-year-old died at a hospital. Police continue to look for the suspect. Police say that a tourist from Kansas has been hit in the shoulder by a stray bullet near New York's Times Square. Police say that the 44-year-old man was shot shortly after 2 a.m. on Wednesday near West 38th Street and 8th Avenue. Police do not believe that he was the intended target, and he was taken to a hospital and is currently stable. The Daily News reports that the victim told police he attended Tuesday's Met Phillies game in Philadelphia and then took a train or bus back to New York. Police say that he was headed towards his hotel when he was shot. No arrests have been made at this time. Wichita Aerospace Supply Company has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection following the losses it's blamed on the COVID-19 pandemic and suspension of Boeing 737 MAX plane. The Wichita Eagle reports that Tech Aerospace filed for the protection on Tuesday, which also covers the company's facilities in Park City, Wellington, and Everett, Washington. It does not cover a facility in Nashville, Tennessee. The company said that its filings it will continue to work on during its bankruptcy recognition and plans to separately sell its Kansas and Washington state operations. Court documents say that among its creditors, they owe about $18.3 million to Boeing and $4.2 million to Spirit AeroSystems. Lawrence City Commission members decided to delay a vote on banning conversion therapy for minors after questions arose about how it would affect counseling provided by religious organizations. The commission was scheduled to vote on Tuesday to an ordinance that would ban therapy aimed at changing a minor's sexual orientation or gender identity. The ordinance currently contains a clause providing an exception for clergy. City legal staff said the exception was added to avoid legal challenges based on religious freedom. However, the city heard from two religious leaders who said that the ordinance could stop religious schools from offering counseling on the subject and that it was overly broad. Conservative Republicans want to allow some Kansas parents to use state dollars to pay for private schooling for their children. They're trying to make legislative approval for their plan a condition for funding for public schools. State senators and House members were in talks on Wednesday for the final version of a measure that could tie funding for public education and initiatives designed to give parents of K-12 students who are at risk of failing more alternatives to public schools. The GOP-controlled House last week approved the bill that would set up education savings accounts for at-risk students with tax dollars normally earmarked for public schools. Governor Laura Kelly says that she has no plans to have Kansans issue vaccine passports, which are designed to help inoculated residents travel, shop, and dine out more freely. Vaccine passports, which verifies people's immunization status, have become a political flashpoint in the U.S. as they've come into use in Israel and other under development in Europe. Some Republicans in the U.S. see them as heavy-handed government intrusion. Kelly said on Monday that she is concentrating on making sure that people get tested for and vaccinated against the COVID-19 vaccine. The Democratic governor also signed into law a largely symbolic Republican bill requiring public schools to offer full-time in-person classes to all students for the rest of the current semester. Vaccinating Americans is plenty tough, and it's worse if you're in prison. Roughly half of the country has opened up coronavirus vaccine eligibility beyond initial restrictions, vastly expanding the ability for most people to get a shot in the arm. But inside many prisons, it's a different story. Prisoners are not free to seek out vaccines and still, on the whole, lack access. Data collected by the Marshall Project and the Associated Press show that fewer than 20% of state and federal prisoners have been vaccinated. In some states, prisoners and advocates have resorted to filing lawsuits to get access. In Kansas, prison inmates and staffers have been receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. By mid-March, nearly 5,000 inmates statewide had already been vaccinated. The Kansas Department of Correction also reported last month that the majority of both staff and inmates who were offered the vaccine accepted the shot. Single-dose vaccine clinics are going to be held for rural Saline County residents on April 13th in Gypsum, Assyria, and Brookville, and will have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine readily available on a first-come, first-served basis. These clinics are being hosted by the Saline County Vaccination Collaboration. Today, when Governor Laura Kelly announced appointments to the Kansas State boards and commissions, Lori Blake of Assyria was named to be on the Information Network of Kansas board, which provides Kansans with equal access to government data on the internet. Blake is the director of the Child Advocacy and Parenting Services out of Salina and is a member of the USD 306 Southeast of Saline School Board. Now for a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, there will be rain, possibly mixed with snow, becoming all rain after 10 p.m. There will be a low around 43 degrees, breezy with gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. The chance of precipitation is at 80%. Little or no snow accumulation is expected. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny, then gradually becoming even more sunny with a high near 70, breezy with gusts as high as 32 miles per hour. On Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with a low around 41 degrees. Winds gusts could get as high as 22 miles per hour. Friday will be sunny with a high near 71. Winds could get as high as 24 miles per hour. Then on Friday night, a 20% chance of showers. It'll be partly cloudy with a low around 40 degrees and breezy. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with a high near 67 degrees. And then later on Saturday night, it'll be clear with a low around 42 degrees. I'm Repp reporting from the SMC News Desk, wishing you a good evening.